Good day and welcome to Motherland Mom's Crafting. Today we're making a Chiara backdrop or the ash for your parties. And you want to begin by making your stand because you're going to be using glue on there and you want to give it time to dry. So I'm just trying to figure, as you can see, where I want my screws to go. I'm trying to match the holes on my bracket with where I want my screws to be on the wood. So that was just a piece of wood I had laying around somewhere in the yard, and I had my son cut it out. You can cut it to whatever length you want. It doesn't have to be anything specific. I didn't use any special measurement or anything. I just made them all the same length, and I'm using fix all glue from the Dollar Tree to hold my bracket in place on the wood. You can use the Gorilla wood glue or whatever wood glue you have, but I didn't have any wood glue on hand, so I just went ahead and used what I had because that was a job I had to go do the next day, so I didn't have time to do anything else. I was actually prepping for next day's setup. And so I just glue my brackets to the both pieces. I used 2 pieces of wood because I was using just one stand for that day. So I made 2 of those, the same process. And if this is your first time joining us, I just want to say welcome and thank you again to all my returning viewers. I say thank you. We appreciate your support. So we went ahead and added a weight on there. I just got a piece of brick and added that to keep the weight on. Now I'm cutting my foam board. I got that from Home Depot in the insulation department. I think it was a total of maybe $14 and change. So yeah, something pretty close to $15 I got that for. And it was actually long. I had to cut it into 2 to be able to fit it in my car. So after forming my ash, I realized it was short, and so I had to cut another square piece to add to the bottom to make it higher enough to where I wanted it. So I'm just using a xactor knife to cut in there, even though I thought that one was kind of sharp, but I think I missed out. It's pretty dull, so I had to get a second one, a bigger one, to go through it. But at least it's good to have an assistant. As you can see, I got one helping me out there. Yeah. And that piece, you don't have to throw it away. You could use it for something else. Like sometimes I use it for floral design. Maybe you want a little piece for floral. If you see where I'm trying to show you over there, there's where I did my joining. I had to cut a square piece to join over there and make it a little higher. And I'm just adding that cardstock. I'm gonna use it to cover up my joint over there because I don't want it. I don't like how it's showing. So I'm using that cardstock. I also got that from the dollar store. I'm just using that to cover up because I don't want it showing through my backdrop cover. When I put on the cover, I don't want that showing. So I'm going to be covering it up with that cardstock. And you can also peel off that covering, the white covering there. You can peel that off because it just had just too much going on in there. The prints were all showing through my covered, and so I had to just figure how I could peel it off. And that was after I glued my paper on before I realized that, you know what, I should have peeled this off. So you want to peel that off if you're adding anything else on there. You want to peel that off before you add it on. So I'm just rubbing it on to make sure there's no bubbles or anything left under there, and it's actually down and in place right there. And then after this, that's when I just went ahead and I glued on my stand. As you can see, I just glued my both stands on, and I added weights on there too, and let it stay for a couple of hours to dry through the night. And that was what it looked like.